Bianca back with another Fearless Taylor's Version guitar tutorial for you today. If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming that means that you want to learn how to play Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift on guitar, so don't fret because that is what we are going to do today. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future tutorials. So to play Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift on guitar, you do not need a capo, and there are two different types of tunings that you can use for this song. If you want to play it the way that Taylor does live, which is how I'm going to be playing it, keep your guitar in standard tuning. If you want to match the track as close as possible, you would have to tune your guitar down a half step, which I will go in further detail on how to do that. We do have 4 chords that we need to know to play the song. 1 variation chord. There are no bar chords, so we are loving that. I have 1 main strumming pattern and a transitional strumming pattern, and then there are 3 chord progressions. So let's go further into depth on how to tune your guitar down a half step. So if you want to match the track, tune your guitar down a half step. The low E string would become D sharp. The A string would become G sharp. The D string becomes C sharp. The G string becomes F sharp. The B string becomes A sharp, and the high E string becomes D sharp. So now that you know the tuning for the song, let's get into the 4 chords you need to know to play Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift on guitar. First up, we have G major, then we have C at 9, E minor 7, D major, and then we have a variation of the D major chord, which is a completely optional chord that she uses during the intro and the verses. So now that you know the chords that you need to know to play this song, let's get into the main strumming pattern that I have for you. So it's just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Adding in the chords for the intro and the verses to keep it beginner friendly, you would just switch from G major to C at 9. And it'll sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Hey Stephen, I know looks can be deceiving, but I know it's all right in you. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now let's throw in a technique that she uses when she plays a song live called palm muting. So what you do is you rest this part of your hand on the strings close to the bridge of your guitar, and it creates kind of a percussive sound. It'll sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Hey Stephen, I know looks can be deceiving, but I know it's all right in you. One other technique that she does use, which is completely optional because it sounds just as good not doing it, she does add in a mute between those 2 up strums. So instead of letting them ring out, she adds a mute in there to kind of create more of that percussive beat that you hear in the song. So with your chords on, it's down, down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, up. Hey Stephen, I know looks can be deceiving, but I know it's all right in you. Now we're getting into more of the intermediate territory of this song. Last thing you need to know to play it just the way Taylor does when she plays it live is she adds in a transition chord, which is that D variation chord that I showed you. She adds that in as a transition into the next chord. So it's a very quick change, and so if you're on your G major, you do down, down, up, switch to that D variation, down, up, C at 9, down, down, up, up, switch to that D variation, down, up. So that is more of an intermediate technique that she uses. It is super fun and it isn't that difficult to play, so I do recommend that you try it. Again, you can just stick to that G major to C at 9 progression. So whatever you feel like is the easiest for you and you feel like matches the song the best, you go for it. So now that we know everything that we need to know to play the verses, let's jump into the chorus. So our chord progression, we have a few going on here. So we have G major, then we have a quick change from C at 9 to D major, and you play that through twice. So what that'll sound like, our strumming pattern is G major, down, down, up, down, up, C at 9, down, down, up, D major, down, down, up. Then once you play that through twice, the chord progression switches to E minor 7, D major, G major, C at 9, and then you end on D major. And each chord gets a full strumming pattern, so it'll sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And you end on that D major. With the chorus and the chords, it'll sound like this. 'Cause I can't help it if you look like an angel. Can't help it if I wanna kiss you in the rain. So I feel this magic I've been feeling since I met you. Can't help it if there's no one else. I can't help myself. And then you go into the instrumental. Last thing you need to know to play Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift is the bridge. And so your chord progression is E minor 7, D major, G major, C at 9. Then you repeat that, and then she adds in 2 bars of D major. So she will strum D major for the whole pattern, and then she'll single down strum it. So what the bridge sounds like is she starts on E minor 7. It's just down, D major, down, G major, C at 9. E minor 7, D major, G major, C at 9, D major, and then she jumps into that third verse. So that is everything you need to know to play Hey Stephen by Taylor Swift on guitar, so let's jump into the full playthrough of the song.